Hey you guys, welcome to my season 3, episode 3 review of Vikings. And the episode is entitled The Warrior's Fate. So let's pretty much begin, start off with the storyline that happened in Kattegat. So in Kattegat we had this mysterious stranger from the previous episode who was really injured, his hands were bloody, coming into the Great Hall due to Helga. Helga said they should help him and treat him, whatever. And both Aslog and Siggy agreed to it. But Siggy's kind of skeptical. You can tell she's wondering. It seemed like the dude's kind of off. Anywho, later in the night, they're talking about who is he. Because previously, before that, he mentioned that his name was Hobbit. He's talking about he met some great king during his travels and his journeys. That at first he was, the king chose to drink something, and the king was surprised, that he drank part of the sea. And the second thing he mentioned was that he was supposed to face the king's old grandmother, and that he was surprised how strong she was as soon as they locked up. And he said, let's say he learned from that, pretty much is that you can't fight old age. And when he said that, he was looking specifically at Siggy. I was like, burn. Serious burn. Just think about it. Like, Siggy has to be in her 50s at this point. She looks pretty good. She's kind of, just kind of near her expiration date. So, anywho, we have Ivar crying, and Queen Aslog, is beside herself, because, like, season 3, she's always so frustrated that she can't help ease Ivar's pain. The guy, Hobbit, he's like, let me see him, let me heal him. So, he heals Ivar. And you have Siggy and Helga looking like, what the fuck? Including the boys, Visserk and Uba. And you have Queen Aslog do that little look like, what the fuck just happened? What did you just do? And the guy once again Hobbit said, I took away his pain. And it seems as though, as he was taking away his pain, like he literally did take his pain, like all of it. Then he smiles and he continues like to pet, Ivar and all that stuff. So, after that, let's get back to Mercia. Pretty much, we're post-battle. Torsten is still recovering from having this shit ripped off. And the most gruesome scene I think I've seen in Vikings during the entire, so far in the series. Pretty much, Floki speaks to Ragnar. And Floki's like, listen, why are we doing this? Why are we doing Ekberg's work like his little pets? Ragnar's like, listen, I don't have time for this, Floki. I'm doing this for everyone, for our children, our descendants, whatever. I don't want any problems with the Christians. And then Floki's like, you're mad, Ragnar. Because at the end of the day, there will be problems, no matter how much you're going to try to avoid it. We got, you got our gods, the true gods, versus their Christian God, the Christ God. And at some point, one of them has to win out. And due to the religious conflict, there will never be peace. And pretty much that's the same thing, I believe, that Prince Aethelwulf said either last episode or the first episode of season 3. He said the same thing, to the fat priest, whatever. So anywho, Ragnar at this point is like, listen, if you don't want to fight, you don't want to fight. I told you, I was going to do it, you agreed to it. Leave me alone. They have this little stare off, and Rollo's like, listen, let's save our energy for the mountain. And besides, some of us might never see this beautiful morning again. So let's remember all the good things, that we experienced each other in the past and here and now, and let's just focus in on the here and now. So Rollo's like, so Ragnar's like, good speech, brother. And he's just staring at Floki, and Floki's staring at him, and Floki decides to leave. So you have pretty much Bjorn and Porin pretty much doing teenage shit, pretty much getting off by doing this, putting the war paint on each other, and Ragnar's paying attention. Ragnar's like, and Bjorn's face like, you done yet? You done? Bjorn's like, they got their shit back together. So as Ragnar's making his way, I believe Queen Quenthra says, please spare my brother. So pretty much they're going straight, everyone's going towards their destination, whatever. And what else happens? So pretty much Torsten tells Rollo, let me fight, I have to fight. Rollo's like, listen, man, you're kind of fucked up right now, plus you got one arm. And then Torsten proves that he can fight. He stands up, and then Roll's like, well, come on, you know. So they're making their way, and pretty much they get to the part of the mountain, they're climbing up the mountain, and I believe Bjorn is sent by Ragnar to see if they can see anything, any inklings of the Mercian army, you know, that Quintra's brother has. And due to the mistiness of the mountain, he really can't see shit. He tells it to everyone. So Ragnar is thinking about going to see for himself. Going further. But Torsten's like, no, let me go. And then when he says that, Floki notices it. And Floki's like pissed off, but trying to hold back. He's literally like this. You know, so you have Torsten making his final stand, you know. And pretty much he only has a shield on him. And the Mercian army, when they first see him, is like, is this a fuck, what do you call those people? Fuck. Is this a shaman? Yeah, is this a shaman? And then they shoot arrows at him, right? And Torsten takes the majority of the arrows, but one arrow does get by and hits him right, I believe, in the inner thigh. Or knee at first. I would say knee at first. So they're laughing, you know, they're saying that's no shaman. So they continue to shoot a second, you know, assembly of like arrows at him. Once again, he busts the majority of them, but this time it hits him right in the, like on the right side of his thigh, and so forth. So this time, pretty much, Torsten's conceding death. You know, he was saying pretty much, I'm gonna join you, Odin. You know what I mean, I'm coming home. And he falls on his knees, whatever. And then he sort of extends his hand. The Mercians kind of laughing. They're coming towards him. And then you see Torsten like stab the shit out of one. The other one cuts his arm and then stabs him through the stomach. You know, so Torsten dies a really badass and honorable death. So after this, the Ragnar company are going right at him. And you have this really interesting, brutal scene. And the drumming was just the drumming, and the woman that was doing the song for it. It was really intense, you know what I mean? It coincided really well with the battle sequences. You have Thorin pretty much. She's fighting, but she gets her ass whooped, you know, and gets a good, I believe she gets like an eye slap, so she gets slashed right across the face. So she's about to die. Thankfully, Bjorn comes right in time, spears the guy. I don't know if he kills her or not, or beats him. Most likely he beat him to unconsciousness with his own helmet. You know, that soldier's own helmet. And Bjorn pretty much is saying, Thorin. You know what I mean? Porn, whatever her name is. You know, after that you have Rollo doing his usual shit, Floki on the attack, and Ragnar barely, you know, surviving, you know, an arrow that went straight by his stomach. And, you know what I mean? He's able to take out the guy who did it, and is making his way up the mountain, whatever, and then he sees the prince's army pretty much right there, you know, waiting for them. But unbeknownst to the prince, so Ethelwulf's men, you know, army is right on top of the mountain, so right on top of them. So they shoot the arrows, and Ragnar tells Ethelwulf pretty much, spare the prince. So Ethelwulf spares the prince, and then the prince surrenders, you know, pretty much, and he beseeches them to like surrender. I mean, to take his to accept his surrender. So yeah, that's all I have for part 1 of this review. I'll have part 2 to you in a few minutes. Thank you for watching my video. Adios.